Hey guys, so today I thought we could do a Shop My Stash, and I like to set kind of a theme for these Shop My Stash videos. So today's theme is going to be full face of nothing new, but specifically like focusing on old products, like ideally products that I've had for longer than 2 years. I don't know if I have something that old in every single category, but just products that I've had for a while. This top drawer is kind of like my project pan drawer and like my everyday makeup drawer, and I tend to take a break from my project pan items for these Shop My Stash looks just because I use them like all throughout the month, and so I like to kind of switch it up in these videos. So I'm gonna grab just like a few staples from this drawer. I'm gonna need an eyelid primer. I'll use my Urban Decay, my brow pomade and brow gel, my mascara. I use a different one on the top and bottom lashes. That might be it for now from this drawer. I may grab some eyeliner and stuff, but let's go ahead and take a look at my base drawer. So I'm actually going to cheat for my base because my two oldest base products are these two, but currently the only foundation that I feel like is really working for me is my Urban Decay Hydromaniac, just because my skin has been kind of dry. And I just feel like this one is the best at kind of like smoothing over any dry patches. So this is what I'm going to use today. I think I got this at the beginning of 2021, so it's not old per se, but it's also not like brand new. So let's see, which of these concealers is my oldest? I think this one from Milani is actually my oldest. I think my Too Faced one that's in my project pan is actually my oldest, but I want to use something different for this Shop My Stash. So we'll use this one. This is pretty old. I think I got this at the end of like 2019. And then I'm going to skip primer today. I've just not been using primer recently. All right, so here's my cream cheek product drawer. And then underneath that, I have my powder cheek product drawer. Out of this drawer, the Flower Blush Balm in Pinched is pretty old. I've had this one for a while. I've also not been as in love with this as I used to be. I've been kind of retesting it. So maybe I will use this today. Yeah, I think I'll use this today. And then my Becca Liquid Highlighter in Champagne Pop is also kind of old. So maybe these two will be my cheek products, or at least my cream cheek products. Everything else in here is relatively new. I guess this ColourPop Monster highlighter is not super new, but I think I'd prefer these two today. And then for this drawer, for bronzer, I only have two powder bronzers. My Jordana Powder Bronzer is pretty old. I think it is older than my Milani one, so I'm going to use this one today, my Jordana one. I feel like I haven't used this in a while. And then these are my face powders, and then I also have one in my project pan, but I'm going to use one of these today. None of these are super old. I'm thinking my oldest one is actually this Pacifica one, so I'll use this one. This is their Crystal Rays Luminous Translucent Setting Powder. I like this one. I am going to use some combination of my 1 Month 1 palette shadows. I've got these bonus singles and then my Norvina palette. I'm going to use those, but I think I am going to pair them with something else. Let's see, what's my oldest palette in here? Soft Glam I've had for a long time. I've had this since 2018, and I feel like I don't use it often enough. Let's see. Yeah, this is kind of my high-end drawer, and I do think Soft Glam is my oldest palette in here. So maybe I'll use this. Let's look in here too. This is sort of like drugstore palettes. Nothing in here is very old actually. So I do have some other palettes that are sitting out on my filming table, but those are all pretty new to me. So I think this is going to be my palette today. So I'll probably do some combination of those, and then I may pull in some of these bonus singles. These are all from ColourPop. All right, then we've got my lip drawer. I'm trying to see which of these are older. I know this CoverGirl lipstick is pretty old. This is the shade Honeyed Bloom. And then this Jordana lipstick in Buttercream Frosting is also pretty old. And then so is Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. Let's do Pillow Talk just because it's so iconic. And then I may grab my Jordana lip liner in Rockin' Rose to go with that. It's kind of a neutral brownish rose color. Back into this top drawer for eyeliner. I'm going to grab my black liquid liner. This is from ABH. Then I'm also going to grab my brown pencil liner from CoverGirl. This is in the shade Espresso. I've been using this a ton lately. And let me just go ahead and grab my NYX glitter primer as well, just in case. All right, so there's my little selection of products, mainly products that are older. And yeah, I'm excited to create a look with these. All right, let's just get right into it. So I'm gonna start out with this Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. I have the shade 20 Fair. This really has become my favorite foundation. It's very reliable. It's kind of taken the place of the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation for me. I can just count on it to look good on my skin no matter what kind of skin issues I'm having. Same cannot be said for a lot of foundations, honestly. But my skin's been extra dry recently because I did start using tretinoin every night. I was doing every 3 nights, then I was doing it every other night, and now I've bumped it up to every night. Honestly, it hasn't been too bad, the adjustment, but sometimes my skin can look a little dry and peely, and I just find that most foundations make that look worse, whereas this one kind of, I'm using a brush, I guess. This one kind of just smooths over it really beautifully and doesn't make any dryness look obvious. I'm using my Sigma Flat Kabuki. For some reason, this is just what I grab. Usually I use a sponge, but I just figured I'd try this out. Yeah, no, I'm gonna use my sponge. That reminded me why I prefer a sponge. I generally do like that Flat Kabuki. I feel like in terms of streakiness, it's one of the better brushes. But when my skin is dry, I just really can't use anything other than a sponge. All right, next up for this Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer. This honestly isn't my favorite concealer, but it's not bad either. It's just kind of meh to me. We'll see how it does today. The last few times I've used it, I didn't dislike it as much as I thought I did initially, so maybe it'll grow on me. I don't know. It's just kind of dry. I think that's my issue with it. It's kind of thick when it comes out of here, and it just doesn't have much, like, it just doesn't feel very hydrating. See, I mean, it's fairly matte. It's not bad, I just feel like there's better out there. Next for my cream cheek products, the Flower Blush Balm in Pinched, and then the Becca Liquid Highlighter in Champagne Pop. This will be a good opportunity to retest out this blush because, I don't know, lately I've been feeling like it's just too sheer. Let me shake it really well. Like, maybe it's just always been that way and I've only just recently noticed that, but I just feel like it almost blends away. And I have had this for couple years now, so maybe like the formula has gone off. That's also a possibility, but let's just see. I'm gonna use this BK Beauty 101 brush. It's kind of like an angled brush. Well, actually, I don't know. Actually, that looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's a subtle blush. I think that it's probably more likely that my tastes have just changed and I do prefer a slightly more pigmented blush, but I think that looks pretty. I think I also just need to apply more than I would think that I would need. I do like a pretty strong blush. I saw that they recently came out with some more shades of this and they look really pretty. So next for this liquid highlight from Becca. This is really pretty. This I used to not like for some reason. I thought it was too subtle, but now I think it's just the perfect amount of highlight. It's definitely not too subtle for me now. And it just always looks good. Just the kind of highlight you can't mess up. See, I kind of feel like I need to add more concealer now. When I apply my cream products before I powder my under eyes, which is what I always do, sometimes I feel like my concealer kind of disappears in this area. I'm just gonna add it back. Maybe I should just start doing my concealer after I do my cream cheek products. That would probably make sense, wouldn't it? Next, for face powder, since I've already applied all my creams, I think, right? Yeah. My Pacifica Crystal Rays Luminous Translucent Setting Powder. I don't love the packaging of this. It's got, I mean, in theory this is nice because it's got this little, like, flap that you open, and then it has this sort of mesh sifter. It's just kind of, I usually put it into this cap, and then I'm like, what's really the point of the little trap door, you know? But I do like how finely milled this powder is. All right, and I am gonna go ahead and set the rest of my face as well. Next, for this Jordana Powder Bronzer in the shade Sunkissed. This brand is no longer in existence, but I do really like this bronzer. It's a very glowy bronzer, and it kind of has this sort of, I mean, so it's definitely kind of warm, but it has almost a reddish undertone that I really like. I really haven't been using this much just because lately I've been using my Franken bronzer that I'm trying to use up, but this is nice. So I'm just going to prime my eyelids with that Urban Decay Primer Potion. Just going to fill in my brows with my usual ABH Dip Brow Pomade. Alright, so time to do the eye look. I feel like these two palettes are going to make a really pretty pairing. I don't think I've ever paired them together before, but here's Soft Glam. I think I mainly want to use Soft Glam. This palette just does not get enough love for me, I think because it has so much brown in it, and I've talked about recently, like, kind of realized if a palette has too many browns in it, I'm not as into it. And then here's Norvina, my love. This is my favorite Anastasia palette. Very underrated in my opinion. I kind of want rose pink here, this shade, to be like my lid shade. I'm going to start out the look with the shade Burnt Orange. Actually, I'm going to do a mix of Orange Soda and Burnt Orange, those two browns. And I'll probably just use Norvina as kind of like an accent palette. I really do want to use Soft Glam because it's just been so long since I've used this palette, I feel like. By the way, guys, I haven't plugged it very much, but I started a second channel, if you are interested. It is called Sarah Rose Vlogs. It's mainly going to be vlogs, just content that doesn't really fit on this main channel, and it's really just going to be kind of like just for fun. It's not even monetized yet. So far I've done a couple of grocery hauls, Aldi hauls, and some cooking videos. I'm going to do some vlogs, maybe some cat-related videos, so go check it out and subscribe. I think there's only like 4 or 5 videos on it so far, so, you know, there's not a whole lot on there yet, but there will be. I'm planning on probably uploading to it like maybe once a week. It's not going to be like super frequent uploads or anything, but just for funsies. I'm going to deepen up the outer corner with Sienna here. I keep talking about how I don't really like browns, but I'm going to challenge myself to like actually use some brown shadows today. So next I'm going to take Rose Pink, which is this really pretty rose pink color. Apply that to the lid. I guess I'm skipping NYX glitter glue today. That's fine. I don't always use it. Sometimes I just skip the step because it's an extra step. And these shimmers are already really nice, so this is going to be a very fall-y look. Grabbing my blending brush again. This is the E.L.F. Fluffy Eye Blender Brush. Just blending that with no additional product. So I'm going to take some of Cypress Umber now, this deep brown, and just kind of take that along my upper lash line, like this outer corner of the upper lash line. I'm using this BK Beauty 207 brush. This brush, it makes outer corner work so much easier. I don't know what it is about this brush, it's just perfect. Alright, for the sake of using Norvina, I am going to use Dreamer on my inner corner. This shade I'm really close to hitting pan on, I think. Like any day now. And that just makes such a pretty inner corner highlight. Wait, is that a pan? I can't tell. I feel like I might have just hit pan, but I can't tell. Can you tell? It's like, it almost looks like there's like something a little bit darker right in the center. I'm going to take base on my brow bone. Really helps to kind of blend out that edge there. Yeah, I ended up mainly using Soft Glam. I thought I might use Norvina more, but I was just having fun with Soft Glam. I think I might have hit pan on Dreamer, but I can't quite tell. I guess time will tell. Alright, let's grab Volatile here from Norvina for my lower lash line, just so we can at least use a little bit more of this palette today. It's a nice kind of grayish taupe. Ooh, getting smoky. See, now that I have all this eye makeup on, I just feel like this blush is not doing enough for me. Alright, I am going to do brown pencil liner. This is CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus in Espresso. This has been like a daily use product for me lately. I just really into brown pencil liner these days. And I just like to kind of smudge it on my lower lash line. I've kind of given up on tight lining and waterline eyeliner. I'm giving up on it. I know it's not even the best thing for your eyes anyway. See the difference there? It's nice.
And I find these liners from CoverGirl really easy to use, very creamy, very thin point, very nice. One of you guys actually recommended these to me, and I'm very grateful because I love them. I need to do a video of like products that you made me buy. I actually didn't buy this, I received it in PR, but I picked it out, if that counts. But I think it'd be fun to do a video of products that you influenced me to buy. I'll need to see if I have enough things that fall into that category, but that could be fun. Then I just take my angled brush, pick up a little bit more on the brush, and then create a soft wing. And now for mascara. I've been using the E.L.F. Lash It Loud on the top lashes. Really not into this mascara. It's better than it was when I first opened it. I've had this open for about a week and a half now. And it's better. Like, at least it's giving my lashes a little bit of like volume and length now. I mean, I feel like it's showing up a little bit more on my lashes, whereas when I first opened it, it was like, hello, where is it? You know? But unfortunately, this mascara smudges really badly, so I can't use it on the lower lash line. Even when I use it on the top lashes, it still smudges a little bit, but it's not as bad as when I use it on the top and bottom. But see, I mean, it does make my lashes look really nice. I'm actually happy with that look. A little bit of volume, a lot of length. If it didn't smudge, I would like it. Kind of glad I only got the mini size. And I like the brush too, it's nice. I love spiky brushes like this. It really does kind of grab onto each lash, so it's great for separation. It really has a lot of things going for it. It just, the smudging is bad news, man. And then since I can't use that on the lower lashes, I'm just using my undone indie lash on the bottom lashes. I hate the brush of this mascara. I actually think it's dangerous. Like, I would not recommend this to anyone. I have to be super careful with it or else you will stab yourself in the eye and it's very painful. It just has to do with the shape of this brush. It's awful. But as long as I'm careful with it, it's fine for the lower lashes. So because I feel like my blush is not doing enough for me right now, I am going to apply some more bronzer to my cheeks in hopes that this will kind of give me a little bit of something. I just feel like that blush, it's not doing enough. I used to love that flower blush, but now I'm not so into it. And last but certainly not least, the lipstick. So I'm going to start out with this Jordana Rockin' Rose Lip Liner. And finally, the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in Pillow Talk. It smells so good. It smells like frosting. Alright, so there's the finished look. I'm really happy with how the eyes turned out, especially. I had a lot of fun with Soft Glam. I feel like I just don't use this palette often enough. Maybe I'll have to have this be my 1 month 1 palette for one of the upcoming fall months, because it is a really pretty palette and I had a lot of fun with it. I have to say though, the Flower Blush Balm, when I first applied it, it looked pretty, but I just feel like it kind of faded and it just wasn't giving me enough pigment, so that was kind of a letdown. And I didn't want to pull in any more blush just because I wanted to really like use the products I said I was going to use, so I feel like the bronzer helped a little bit, but not, I don't know if mine has just gotten older or if I just used to prefer like a really, really subtle blush. I feel like I haven't, I don't know. I just feel like it used to be better than it is now. But everything else I'm really happy with, especially that lip color. I feel like it looks really pretty with the eyes. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with this fall look. I just can't help myself lately with fall eyeshadow looks. I've just been in the mood and we're halfway through August. I'm just ready. I'm ready for fall. So I'll probably still be doing some like bright, fun summer looks as well, but fall is where it's at for me right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Shop My Stash video. I like to do these videos once a month, so definitely subscribe if you are into this type of content. I've got a whole playlist of Shop My Stash videos as well if you want to binge watch those. But otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day and hopefully I'll talk to you very soon in my next video. Bye.